Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. All I can see is my eyebrows. I'm basically doing like a tutorial, like not so much a review, but just a tutorial on these two palettes here. These are from the brand MeeshaLou Cosmetics. Basically, long story short, the owner of this company had reached out to me over, I think it was Instagram first and then through my email, and she basically wanted to gift me some of her palettes, which were these two here. So I was like, yeah, sure, not a problem, because I actually went on and looked at them and they looked absolutely gorgeous. The shades in these palettes are absolutely beautiful. So this is the first palette and this is the Queen Bee palette. So I think I'm really wanting to do something that's quite copper and bronzy today. Might put a wee bit orange in there too. So this palette just has a selection of shimmers, mattes. They also have a couple of shadows in them that they seem to be like a different texture than just your basic shimmer. It's as if they're like a baked shimmer, as if it's just like a pressed glitter. For example, these two ones here, and you can actually tell that they are a wee bit more risen. So that is 3 of the shades swatched there. I'm absolutely obsessed with that one. It just looks like such a beautiful, like a gold bronze antique colour. So then we're just going to move on to the Fawn palette, and that is the packaging there. I actually really like the packaging, like they're very different. I would say this one is more warm toned, whereas this is the Fawn palette. I would say this is more on the cool tone side. For example, like this is definitely a cool tone shade. God, this is a very awkward swatch. Okay. Ooh. Oh my god. They are beautiful. Oh my god. It's time to actually put them on my eyeballs. I'm going to use both of them to create a look today. I'm so excited. So I have my eyelid prep and primed, and I used the Helen E Stage eyeshadow priming base. Every time I say or talk about that eyeshadow primer, I always call it something different every time. Like literally every time. Okay, so to start off with, I'm just going to go into the Fawn palette, and I'm going to take this shade here. This is in the shade Fallen Leaves. I'm going to use this in my crease and just use this as my transition shade. So I haven't set my base yet, hence why I'm going in and I'm packing on the shadow first, because if I just go on in and start blending and buffing like that, because my base is still somewhat tacky, it'll just kind of mess up a bit. Once I have laid down quite a bit of product slash shadow, that is whenever I'm actually able to go in and just start with my blend. Then going into the Queen Bee palette, I'm going to take this shade here, and this is in the shade Pollen. Oh, I actually never noticed that the names are actually to do with the name of the palettes. So with the Queen Bee palettes, there's names such as Honeycomb, Hive, Queen, Wings, Pollen. I'm such a dick. I'm just going to use that in the same brush because I want to. And again, I'm just gonna, whoa, okay. So I'm just going to build up that pollen shade just in my crease. And then I'm just going to blend it right up, just towards my brow bone, just to buff it out. And I'm going to bring it right out to my outer corner as well, because at the end I'm going to clean that up anyway. I'm just continuing to go in with that pollen shade, and I'm just really wanting to build that up just in my crease. I'm going to go into the Fawn palette. I'm going to take this shade here. This is in the shade Wood Moth. I washed all my brushes last night and they look crazy. Like, this brush is supposed to be... I'm actually just going to take a clean blending brush. I'm just going to buff those two shades together. So now I'm just going to cut the crease, and I'm going to use the Helen E Stage Eyeshadow Primer. I think I called it the same thing there. I'm doing a spotlight eye, so I'm just going to be cutting the crease just in the centre, and I cannot talk through this. I apologise for that. Okay, so once I have that done, I'm just going to go into that pollen shade again from the Queen Bee palette, and I'm just going to pack that on the thighs. I'm just going to go into the Queen Bee palette again. I'm going to take this shade here, and this is in the shade The Hive. I'm going to place this shade just on the outer and inner corner. I'm going to take the shade Nectar, and this is one of the shimmer shades. I'm just going to take that on my finger first because I just don't really know how it's going to apply with a brush. Okay, we're going to use a brush. This is the Definer brush by Makeup Addiction Cosmetics, and it's just like a wee synthetic brush. Maybe some of these are maybe screaming at the camera right now being like, use Fix Plus, use Fix Plus. But the thing is, in my opinion, you shouldn't have to use Fix Plus or anything for an eyeshadow to actually perform the way it should. You shouldn't have to buy an eyeshadow palette or buy an eyeshadow and, you know, oh yeah, I can't use that shade because I have to use it only with Fix Plus, it only works with Fix Plus, or if my brush is wet or something. No, that shouldn't be the case. Part of me is also kind of thinking, is it maybe the eye base that I'm using? I'm still keeping the wee Makeup Addiction Cosmetics brush. Still not working. Okay, it's kind of starting to come together now as I'm like pressing and rubbing with my finger. Okay, so that's definitely worked. My finger has worked. That has actually worked not too bad. I'm going to go into the Fawn Palette. I'm going to take one of the dark shades just to deepen up the inner and the outer corner. Yummy Mushroom. Oh, these names are great. These eyeshadows, like, look how freaking pigmented that is. That's not right. Like, one thing I will say, they are powdery in the pan. There is a lot of like kickback, but looking at my face, I have no fallout. Going on with that Yummy Mushroom, I'm just going to tap off the excess because there's quite a bit there. I'm just going to pat this shade in the inner and the outer corner. And I'm actually wanting to use another colour in the centre just to brighten up a wee bit because I kind of think it's going to get a wee bit lost. I'm going to take this lovely shade here, and this is Water Reflex. I'm just going to grab that with my finger. This shade, oh my god, that's fucking gorgeous. Okay, so I just went off camera there and just done my other eye, but I kind of got a wee bit carried away and I forgot to hit record again. So I just started plitting. So I just went in with the Cocoa Mud shade in the Fawn palette, and I'm just starting to use that shade to darken up my inner and outer corner. So I'm just going to gently blend this out. I'm going to start just at the corner here because I'm going to be cleaning that up anyway. I'm just hoping that this does blend out looking okay. Alrighty everybody, so I'm just now going to finish off my lower lash line. I don't actually know what I want to do with my lower lash line. I think I'm wanting to keep it kind of somewhat simple. I'm just going to go with the Fawn palette. I'm not wanting to go too dark because I think already my eyes are quite dark. So I'm going to take this shade here. No, I'm not. actually. I'm going to take, yeah, this shade here that I've already used in my eyes. This is called Yummy Mushroom. Love it. Then once I have that shade placed down, I'm just going to take the Kylie Jenner blending brush. I'm going to take the the smaller end. I'm just going to blend that shadow out. Yeah, so I think that's all I'm going to do on the lower lash line. So I'm just going to take the Chanel mascara, and this is just clearly a wee sample size. Okay everybody, so this is the completed makeup look. I'm going back to the palettes, talking about the whole idea around the palettes first. I love the packaging, I love the shades that's in the palettes. I actually really like and enjoyed the names of the palettes, funny enough. The mattes were absolutely fantastic. The pigmentation on these palettes is really severely intense to the point where you actually get quite a lot of kick up. Most people might not like that, but it's a first world problem. But talking about the shimmers, the payoff and the pigment whenever you swatch them is incredible. It's another story whenever things swatch really nice, but whenever you apply things to the eyes, you kind of expect and want that product to look like that on your eyes, and that's kind of the whole idea. I'm really happy with how they turned out in my eyes. The only problem I had was it just took me a while to get it like this. I used Fix Plus, didn't make a difference. I used my finger and it worked a wee bit better. Maybe I'm kind of wanting to blame it on the base that I had on, like the Helen E Stage eyeshadow primer, because I used that to cut my crease. I'm kind of wanting to blame it on that. But just to finish off this video, I will definitely be using these palettes again. I really enjoyed working with them, and I really do need to actually venture out with the shimmer shades and see how they work and use them again on my channel to see if they actually work better, like without the eye base that I used. That might make a difference, but who knows, only time will tell whenever I try that. So I just want to say thank you so much to Meesha for sending me these two palettes. I really enjoyed working with these. I will leave the Instagram down below as to where you can purchase any of these palettes. Keep in mind there is more palettes than just these two. Thank you so much for joining me in this video, and thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Snapchat, Twitter and Instagram. And I hope to see you guys all in my next video.